Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna play some more Boyfriend to Death. Let's begin. Boyfriend to Death 2. Let's begin. What's your name? Oh, we're gonna go fly in. Guess I'm being lazy. I should go out tonight. I click on my computer. They had to be somewhere open late. Okay, I want to do Route 66. The 1-star review place. There's a lot of weird people here. Really shady. Avoid. Well, we're not gonna heed their warning. The creepy pool hall doesn't sound like the best place to spend the night, but I was feeling adventurous. I put on some black clothes and examined myself. Maybe this would help from standing out. Who knew? I walk out of my apartment and head downtown. Once I arrive, I head in. I look around the pool hall and immediately felt out of place. Despite being careful, I felt myself bumping into some large men in scantily clad women. Oh, excuse me. The small person I bumped into scoffed and zeroed in on me. Oh, you're excused. Maybe you should watch where you're going. Whatever. What did you say to me? I said whatever, dude. You don't own the place. Maybe not, but I'm not a newbie like you. I walk towards him and meet him in the middle. Hey, enough! A deep voice with a heavy southern accent stopped us. This is our love interest. A tall, broad-shouldered man walks over to us. The proud tone of his walk and the way people move out of his way. He was someone to be messed with in this bar. What are you craps doing? We can't have you guys fighting here. You don't need the pigs poking their noses in our business again. Got me? The smaller man went quiet and shoved me again. Froz narrowed his eyes on Vincent for a moment and gave up. Fine. You're lucky Vincent is here. I was thankful that he had stood up for me, but he seemed to be uninterested now. Thank you. You want to thank me? He spoke in the same gruff tone as he had before he shifted his gaze back to me. You're going to have to thank me with more than your words. I felt my voice getting caught in my throat. Maybe you just use your mouth? Vincent? Vincent leaned down over me and I stepped back. I bet you haven't even been with a real man like me. Want a taste of my... Vincent? Spray bottle. I didn't say anything. I could feel my face heat up. Offer stance if you really want to thank me. He leans away from me and crosses his arms. You look like you got something to say. You should just say what you got on your mind. Otherwise, people like me might mistake you for gawking. Was I staring? I wasn't even aware. But what wasn't there to stare at? He was large and imposing. People seemed to respect him here. Back off. There was a cafe down the street. I'll just head over there. I go outside and head towards the street. I felt a hand on the back of my neck, forced me into a brick wall. You're so freaking weak. Vincent smashed my head into the wall, and I felt myself tumbling to the ground. You should have come here, brat. A low growling voice drifts into my ear. I could feel my vision blurring as I taste the coppery blood flowing out of my nose. You're ripe for the hunting. Yeah, I don't want to be hunted. All I need to do is catch ya. Vincent, what are you doing out here? I'm just taking our buddy here. Vincent caresses the top of my head and I look up at Follows. Say nothing. I didn't say anything to these two. I had nothing else to say. They're quiet. They're gonna stay that way too. Vincent puts his boot on my temple. Good night. He stomped on my head and quickly forced my vision to black. Wake up. I felt a swift kick in my ribs as the air pushed out of my lungs. I started to cough uncontrollably as I look around the room. It looks like a fallout shelter. Fallout? Where? What's going on? Vincent tossed a knife up and down. His eye followed it, as if he was thinking about what to say next. He tossed the knife directly at my head. I tried to dodge it, but my arm hitched. I was handcuffed to a radiator. The knife sailed past my face, cutting my cheek and bouncing off the cement near me. Vincent walked over and picked up the knife. He lifted it up on my throat and leaned in. You see, I got a little anger issue. Well, I could definitely tell. Some unresolved inner conflict, or some hippy dippy crap like that. He pushed a knife up against my throat, the sharp steel cutting lightly into my skin. The adrenaline picked up, and my heart started to pound. He pressed it deep, and I could feel my blood dripping onto his blade. I thought you could help me solve that. He pulled the blade away and licked the blood off the broadside. What are you gonna do to me? Vincent picked his ear and looked at it. Nothing much. I got a problem I gotta deal with soon. He looked at the calendar hanging on the wall. Real soon. What about it? And I thought you could help me out. He took my free hand and sniffed my wrist. You're warm. I gasped as his nose touched my skin. I wanted to pull away, but he held my arm tight. You do just nicely. For what? Vincent turned away from me and walked towards the table, sneering at the calendar as he passed by it. He picked up something from the table before kneeling in front of me. Let's have some fun together. He walked over and scraped the bottom of my foot with his knife. Don't make me tie you down. It'll be worse. Trust me. All I have left is laser wire. Vincent walked over to me and flicked the wrist of the knife between his fingers. He sighed and looked at my toes, playing with them eventually. You got cute feet. Vincent looked up from my toes and tapped the knife on them. Oh, no. It'd be a shame if something happened to them. Okay, if something happened to him, I'd probably be in a size 3 or 5.5. Vincent pulled the knife between my toes and pushed down. I let out a hiss between my teeth and looked up at him. Vincent wasn't quite pushing, but I could feel how sharp the knife was. Vincent slid the knife down my foot, cutting deep into the skin. He pushed into my flesh, and I screamed through my head back. Please stop. I beg as Vincent, stop cutting me. I can feel the tears running down my face. I can't have you scurrying around in here. Vincent grabbed a handkerchief and shook it. I've seen some people get out of these. I can't have that now. There's a lot of dangerous stuff in here. Like you? So let me cut you up a little bit more before so I don't have to worry about you. I shot open and looked at him. Despite the grin on his face, I couldn't see the dead serious in his eye. Could see the dead seriousness in his eye. Beg. Please stop. I felt soft sobs escape my lips, and Vincent kneeled down and looked at me in the eye. You want me to stop? He leans in and sniffs me. I twitched, trying to pull away from him, but he kept my face still. He stuck his tongue out and licked my cheek, wiping my tears away. I'll do that for you, but I still need you not to move around so much. Vincent quickly slashed the underside of my other foot. Let out a loud scream as I left the blood dripping out of the new wound. Felt the blood. I don't trust you enough to not to leave the spot. That's what handcuffs are for. If I don't see your little footprints around my bunker, we might get along. Maybe. Vincent pulls the knife back in its holster. Vincent turned away as I let out soft sobs. He walked back to his table and started to clean up something. I could feel something churning inside me, and I pushed my legs together. I need to pee. My bladder was doing flips from being hurt, but my nervousness was getting better of it now. Vincent looked over his shoulder, as if I was as I let out the sound. What now? I pushed and looked at him, rubbing my knees together. I need to pee. Vincent tilted his head to the side. Then go. No one's stopping you. I stared at him. I guess in a way I knew he wouldn't let me just go to the bathroom and use the toilet. Like a normal... This is just this is just the worst. Out of everything. Even Stride will probably let us go to the bathroom at least. Then again, I would just... probably he won't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to do it right here. Vincent made a sound out of the side of his mouth. Well, I ain't untying you. Piss here, or hold it. Well, I'm gonna go get a kidney stone, so apparently, wait here. Wait. I'm going to wait. I look at the side and Vincent aged an eyebrow. Yeah, sure, kid. You do that. He grinned as he kicked me on the chest, knocking the wind out of me. See you later, kiddo. Don't stay up too late now. Vincent said laughing and walked out of the bunker. Now time to go pee on everything that he owns. The metal door shut, and I could hear all the mechanisms watch closed. I leaned my head down and felt my pants get wetter. I felt the tears run down my face, and I leaned my head down. I picked up my head. I couldn't sleep. How could someone sleep in this situation? I opened my eyes slowly. I sighed and yanked the handcuff. Oh, come on. Pull the handcuffs. I pulled the handcuffs around my arm. It seems pretty loose. Pull. 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 Wait. Pull. It came off. But I looked at my arm. It was all cut up and bloody. I held it close to me. You noticed that for sure. I got up and I wobbled. I forgot Vincent cut my foot. I leaned against the wall and used it to stabilize me. Damn it. I cursed softly to myself as I walked towards his workbench. Is it right here? I looked at his table. There's a lot of small tools all over the place. Okay, so we're gonna click the table. There's something on the table. I moved in that direction to see what I could find. Like, what can I find? What's this? I picked up the bag of food and looked at it. It looks like jerky. Did he make it himself? I opened up the bag and sniffed it. It smelled like regular meat. I wouldn't put it past him not to eat something different, though. My stomach growled, and I took a piece out. I nibbled it, and it tasted great. I shouldn't take too much. I ate the piece, pulled it out, and put it back where I found it. What can I find? Teeth. I looked at the table and picked up a tooth. Why would he keep these? Well, because he's psychotic. I asked myself when I then looked down at the table. The pliers were bloody. Freshly bloody. When was the last time he had someone down here? Recently? I touched the pliers and dropped the tooth. I didn't want to know. What can I find? Okay, this. I picked up a picture that was tucked under the box. What's this? I looked at the guys in the picture and tilted my head to the side. Oh, was he in the army? Yeah, and he's a next step person in the army. Drop me a line, brat. Phone number. I asked to myself as I looked at the back, which was blank. I sighed softly. He used to be a good guy, right? I guess anyone can join the army, though. The military, though. I bit my lip. Maybe it wasn't the best idea to fight him. Oh, I'll still fight him. If he had combat experience, it does not mean anything. We could still win. He could take me down pretty quickly. I checked the picture where I found it. What can I find? Oh, this. I looked down at the key. He must have left a spare here for safekeeping. He probably didn't count on anyone getting out of the cuffs. I sighed and picked it up. I'll have to hide it. Maybe I could get out of here when he wasn't looking. What can I find? I think that is actually it. Yeah, that's it. What can I do now? What can I do? What can I do? Okay, let's check this. What should I do? Check the weapons locker. I should check out the weapons locker. I have no idea. 4 or 5. The locker buzzed. It wasn't right. Try again. The locker wailed loudly. The sound of the alarm bounced off the walls, and I clapped my hands over my ears. It was too loud. There was no way that Vincent hadn't heard it. As quickly as it started, it stopped. I blinked up. As I woke up, maybe he was out. I didn't hear anything as I took my hands off my ears. In an instant, I could feel a hand on my back of my head as my face collided with the storage locker. The blood poured out my nose at the sheer pain shot up my face. I stumbled as I turned around looking up at Vincent. He doesn't look like he was in the mood for an excuse. Don't what? You want to see what's in here so bad? Yes. Vincent kicked me out of the way and quickly keyed in the code. Oh, look. He pulled out a large knife and stepped closer. I scrambled to my feet as I tried to run. I cringed, feeling the pain in my feet. I ran away from him. It's almost like he was giving me a head start. I put my head over my mouth, wanting to cry as I grabbed the wheel on the steel door that was my only exit out. But I couldn't spin it fast enough. It was too heavy. My breathing sped up as he grabbed me. My heart sank as I felt a heavy hand on my shoulder. He spun me around and forced me to look at him. Gotcha! Vincent jammed the knife between my legs and into my crotch. I love playing catch. I could feel the knife blade digging into me, and I let out a loud cry. Look, you're excited too. I don't think it's that excited. That's blood. He licked my neck and smirked. Did you no, it's blood. I wanted to sink into my feet. I wanted to sink into my feet. I just wanted to run away. But the blade in me reminded me that I wasn't going anywhere. Stop! I choked out weakly. No, I don't think I will. Vincent ripped the knife up through my pelvis. I could feel my body convulse as I watched him pull back into the floor. I couldn't feel anything as I watched him lick his lips. You died. Vincent caught you. Okay, I actually got the code now. So 8590. It opened. Wow, a happy sound as I opened the locker. Maybe I could find something to kill that sadistic prick with. Hey, kiddo. Eyes shot open, hearing a voice behind me. I slowly turned my head and was immediately met with a icy cold glare. I put up my hands and took a step back. I can explain. You can explain? Well, I would freaking love to hear it. He looked angry as I pressed my back into the weapon locker. He didn't wait for me to to respond as he charged across the room with a knife in his hand. He punched it into my arm and threw me to the ground. A loud shriek as he hit the floor. I gripped the knife in my arm and looked up at him. You want to see a gun, huh? I was going to use the gun on you. I could hear him taking a gun from the rack as I turned my body. He put his foot on my stomach and pressed all his weight into me. Vincent stared at me for a moment as I could feel his boots cracking my septum. Here's a gun for you, little prick. Vincent growled through his teeth. I stumbled and tried to back away. He slung his gun off his shoulder. He cocked it with a loud click, and I closed my eyes. All I heard was a shell leaving the chamber. You died. Vincent blew you away. So we're gonna have to go click this again. Skip, and then struggle. I struggled despite his warning. Vincent sighed and rubbed his fingers down the sides of his face. You want to be a little crap, huh? Vincent dropped what he was doing. He grabbed my wrist and handcuffed them to the newest set of handcuffs away from the radiator. Hey, what are you? Shut it. Vincent growled between his teeth and looked up. It was the meat hook on a chain hanging from the ceiling. He yanked it down and hooked the handcuffs onto it. He slapped my face as he walked past me to crank the hook back into the ceiling. I could feel the handcuffs cutting into my wrist. He started pacing back and forth with slow strides. He slowly worked in my direction from time to time. Crap. He walked back to his desk and picked up something from the desk. He slid something over his hand and walked over to me. I needed some of this aggression out. And using us... Yeah, how about using the wall? Vincent flashed his brass knuckles at me, and I gulped. Wait, please! I let out a soft sob as he shook his head. No waiting. He grabbed my sides and pulled me down quick and sharp. I could feel my arms dislocating from the joint as he pulled. Stop! I cried out and thrashed. But my movements were all in vain as I felt my joint dislocating. Hot tears steamed down my face as I looked at him. No, I'm sorry. Please let go of me. Let me go. He growled loudly. He took a fighting stance that looked familiar, but I didn't have time to think about it before he cracked his knuckles into my leg. I let out a loud scream that echoed off the walls of the bunker. That's right. Friggin' scream. He growled under his breath as he let out another punch into my leg. I wonder if I can break your femur. Probably. I don't doubt it. He started to send repeating blows into my leg. I cried as hard as the hard metal, and his heavy punches made contact with me. He was too strong, and in what felt like an eternity, I felt I could hear a loud snap. I let out a shrill shriek as my femur cracked, leaving my leg a bloody mess. He grabbed my chin and watched me sob. I'm not done with you yet. He stood back a step, and I looked up at him. He rushed forward and smashed my ribs into his elbow. With his elbow. The pain was biting. I didn't know how strong he was. I gasped loudly and coughed. I could feel my ribs cracking every time I took a breath. Vincent pulled his fist up again and sent blow after blow into my torso. I couldn't breathe. I let out a scream, but all that came out was blood. Vincent looked at me and smirked, smashing his lips onto mine, sucking out the blood and blowing in air. Don't die me yet. I want to savor your suffering. Vincent licked my blood off his lips as I looked hazily. I only had a let out soft gasp. My vision was getting blurry as he wiped the sweat off his forehead. That was a good workout. He grinned as my vision started to fade. You're more useful as a punching bag. You died. Vincent used you as a punching bag. Go to sleep. I shouldn't take my chances. I wasn't sure if Vincent would be coming back anytime soon, and I didn't want to press my luck. I hung my head down, and I tried my best to go back to sleep. The fallout shelter produced no sound. I fell into an uncomfortable sleep. Vincent walked in and looked down at me. Where were you good all night long? He knelt down and uncuffed me. Kinda boring, but I ain't gonna judge. Well, because we know what you're gonna do to us if we go to the weapons. The weapons. I wouldn't break out of here with someone like me watching. Yeah, we already know. I heard a loud banging on the door. Vincent pulled his attention away from me and looked over to it with a frown. What is it now? He moved away from me and opened the door to let whoever it was in. It was the guy from the bar. What do you want? I wanted to talk to you about them. Vince's eyes moved from me to Far's. What about them? Let me fight them. What the crap? No. If they're too weak to beat me, they won't survive your change. Wait, change? You know that. You played with them too much. You gone a few full moons without killing someone before going berserk. Wait, is he a werewolf? Why do you care? I want to take care of you. I don't find... Screw it. Vincent shoved past Vaz and held out a knife to me. You're gonna need it. Take the knife. I took the knife from Vincent and looked at the sharp blade. I looked at him. I wasn't sure what I could do right now. I held the knife. Attack Vincent! I gripped up and I got up and grabbed the knife. I had to try. I got up and charged at him from the right side. He was blind in that eye. I hope I could use it to my advantage. But it was short-lived as I felt myself getting kicked in the leg. I turned my head and looked at Fars. That crappy grin. Vincent pulled his boot on my chest and smirked. Nice try. He pulled out a handgun from the back of his pants and aimed it at my head. How many guns does he have? He looked at the other person for a moment. Thanks, baby. He grinned and pulled the trigger. You died. Vincent had some help. Refuse. No. I won't do it. How boring. Never mind. They don't have much time to live anyways. See? Now let's get out of here. Vincent pushed Foz out of the room without a second glance at me. I woke up and looked at the handcuff. I was too tired. I couldn't pull my arm out. I went back to sleep. Vincent walked into the bunker and looked at me. All right, you piece of crap. He grabbed the razor wire and started to lash around me. I'll scream, but he tried to tape my mouth shut. No, none of that. No, none of that. All I need is your blood. He pulled the wire tight as I let out a muffled scream as the wire grinded into my flesh. I could feel my tears running down my face. He grabbed the meat hook on the ceiling and hooked it to the wire. I could feel the wire getting pulled through my skin. Vincent licked the blood dripping down my leg. He looks cute hanging up there, Vincent said as he looked at me. Vincent pulled his hands on his head and started to growl loudly. I wasn't sure if I was looking at what I wasn't sure what I was even looking at anymore. Loud scream. Oh, he's definitely a werewolf. Well, he let out a long howl. I could feel my blood dripping out of me as he tore from my belly with his claws. All I could hear was his howls. You died. Vincent used you as a pinata. This time we're gonna go to sleep. I better not touch anything. You'd probably get really angry. I walked back over to my handcuff and looked down at it. How was I going to get back into the cuff? I leaned down and played with it. It was a little blood. Maybe that would be enough to slip my hand back into the closed ring. I placed the ring and pushed my hand into the handcuff. I let a soft whine as I felt my bones slip past the metal. I sighed and sat back down. I just wanted this to be over. I closed my eyes and fell back asleep. I woke up the next morning to the door opening. Vincent walked in. "Morning, kiddo." He knelt down. Vincent looked at my arm, and I attempted to hide it behind my back. "Hey, don't try to hide it, brat. I already saw it." I squeaked as he grabbed my arm and yanked it out from behind me. "Oh!" He looked at the wound and cocked an eyebrow. "Did you get out?" No, totally not. Even though I warned you." Vincent pushed a finger into my wound. "That's freaking ballsy. I could have came in here any time, you dumbass." Yeah. Yeah, I figured. Vincent nudged my face gently. "I like that. Let me fix that crap for you." He slapped my face and got up. Vincent looked in his cabinets and pulled out a bottle. "Give me your arm," he demanded, and I quickly brought my arm out. Vincent uncapped the bottle. He took the key off his belt and unlocked the cuff. I kept still. With him this close, he could spring over and snap my neck any second. And he definitely could. So now he is a werewolf. I gulp as he poured down my arm. "Oh!" Okay, it's alcohol. I screamed and brought my arm back to myself. "Give me your arm back." "No!" Vincent shrugged and grabbed my arm. "You don't have a choice." He poured it down my arm as I hissed through my teeth. "It hurts." I'm not surprised. Vincent put his lips to the bottle and chugged a few big gulps. "It's frickin' Everclear." "Did you just drink Everclear?" I scooped back as he inched towards me. "Come on, loosen up." I don't think you should drink that." He got up and grabbed my nose. I started to panic. My heart raced hard and opened my mouth to breathe. There you go, sweetie." Vincent jabbed the bottle into my mouth. He let go over my mouth as I choked down the liquor. I felt like it was burning all down my throat. My eyes started to water as I choked it back. Vincent took the bottle out of my mouth and slapped his hand over my mouth. I swallowed. I could feel the tears running down my face. It felt like all my insides were on fire. It definitely would be. I swallowed it and immediately regretted it. My head spun and Vincent took his hand off my mouth. It's definitely not food grade. "You look so cute." I slipped on the floor. I couldn't sit straight without something holding me up. I threw up on the floor and Vincent's tissed. Man, what a waste. Whatever. He pushed his boot into the back of my head and I smelled my own vial and vomited. I scratched at the floor, but he wouldn't let me up. "Lick it." "No, please." "You heard me." "Do it." I licked the floor in front of me gently. I don't want to be hurt by him anymore. Vincent made a low growl as I did and kneeled down. "Come here, baby." I crawled over to him and he licked the vomit off my lips. "Ew." Technically, the ew is make us lick it to begin with. I gasped as his lips came close to mine. I clenched his arm and pressed my lips into his. I could feel his tongue pushing into mine. His kiss was hungry, like he couldn't get enough. I couldn't think anymore. His low growl made my body tremble. I nodded and stuck my tongue out. He pushed me on my back and opened his pants. He didn't seem to care about what he was kneeling in. Yeah, he definitely doesn't care at all because we just threw up. He pushes way. Oh, Vincent. Loosen up by now. I felt my mouth open as he nuzzled my neck. It felt like he was sniffing me until he pushed his teeth into my shoulder. I was biting. I let out a loud scream, but trailed off into a moan. That's what I like to hear. He licked my shoulder and pushed it. I started to pant as he stared up at me. I should have been disgusted by this, but it just good as he... Vincent! I let another moan as I felt my eyes closing. I could just feel his warm. I heard a loud banging on the door. Vincent pulled his attention away from me with a frown. Wasn't now. He moved from me and opened the door to let whoever was in. It was the guy from the bar. What do you want? I want to talk to you about them. Vincent's eye moved from me to Fars. What about them? Let me fight them. What the crap, no. If they're too weak to beat me, they won't survive your change. You know that. You played with them too much. You've gone a few moon cycles without killing someone before going berserk. You got a few more, right? Why do you care? I want to take care of you. I don't. Fine, screw it. Vincent shoved past Fars and held out a knife for me. You're gonna need it. Refuse. No, I won't do it. How boring. Never mind, they don't have time to live anyways. See, now let's get out of here. Vincent pushed Fars out of the room without a second glance at me. I woke up and looked at the handcuff. I was too tired. I couldn't pull my arm out. I went back to sleep. I bounced in anticipation. I wanted Vincent to come in for the day. I needed him. I felt the door open and looked at it. I felt so excited. Vincent? Ooh! I went touchy. I practically moaned out his name as I came in. He leaned over, and I looked at his ears. What's your problem? What, do I have a problem? No, I want to touch it. I want to touch it like Kagome to Inuyasha. I want to play with Vincent. His ears. I want to play with his ears. He sniffed me and dug his claws into my arm. I moaned out pain and delight as he pushed his nails into my flesh. Ah! Vincent started to pant as his tail moved back and forth. I don't see his tail. It was so cute. He reached down and bit my arm. I felt like a delicate nibble at first. I leaned back and let him bite me. I moaned out again and made his ear perk. I'm hungry. He growled lightly as he started to bite harder. I felt his teeth tear my flesh and I moaned out. It didn't hurt anymore. I knew it was supposed to. I laughed and laid back. Eat me, Mr. Whiff. I taunted playfully as he chewed my skin. He looked more excited and bloodthirsty. He pushed his fingers into my stomach, and I screeched. I could feel the tears welling up in the corner of my eyes as he pushed his teeth into my soft innards. I could feel his fingers ripping at my skin. I let a pleased sound. What's happening to me? Guess I like a heavy werewolf kink. Why did I like this so much? I let my eyes roll back into my head as I panted. He was eating me. He was yanking out my guts and chewing on it like it gum. He let out a loud howl and ripped through me. Everything was going cold, but I couldn't stop giggling. Eat me alive! Everything went blank. All I could hear was chewing. You died, and Vincent ate you. Did someone get fused again? No. You're freaking kidding me, right? He rolled his eyes and looked at Fars. Go ahead. They don't have a fight left in them. He stepped out of the way. He stepped over me and pulled his foot on my knee, pushing down. I want to kill you. If you're going to just sit there, then just make it easier for me. We can work together. You don't have to do this. He snored loudly and stabbed me. I let out a loud scream and put my hands around his, trying to push him off. He was a lot stronger than he looked. Is he a werewolf too? Why would I want to help you? He twisted the knife and leaned in. I let a loud hiss between my teeth as the pain shot through my stomach. I like him more than you. Vincent watched with a grin on his face. He pushed the blade from my stomach, spilling my guts all over the floor. I stared in disbelief at the vial of vesic. I fell on my side and looked up at him. He was breathing fast and he tucked his hair behind his ear. You were easy. Vincent came up behind him and wrapped his arms around Fars's shoulders. Ah, crap. You're still a frickin' badass. I watched him nuzzle under Vincent's chin as my vision went black. You died. Vincent replaced you. Okay, for this one I had to make him like us, and then enough. He's still a little aggressive because I think he needs to get to canceling. But we have to defend ourselves. I won't go down so easily. He leapt at me, and Vincent took a step back, his hands up. Vincent was determined to let us duke it out. He reeled his arm and punched me in the face. Vincent's mine. He was a lot stronger than he looked. I mean, come on, he has to be more stronger than me. Let's face it, he looks around my size, so we would be, and he'd probably be a lot stronger. I gripped the knife harder, and he grabbed my wrist. Probably heavier than me, too. He wasn't even taking one, he wasn't even talking anymore. Just making loud, angry sounds. Like angry, what's a small dog? I gripped my knife and cut his hand. He leaned back and smashed his forehead into my nose. I could feel the blossoming from the middle of my face. He was unrelenting. I gripped my knife and stabbed him in the side. Ghost face moment. He let out an angry sound as he pushed his hands around my neck. I choked and sputtered as I tried to pull the knife through. I dropped the blade as the man fell on top of me. Jesus freaking Christ! That guy wouldn't go down, would he? And you definitely felt like that. He gripped my arm and walked me back on the radiator. Vincent picked him up and looked down at the body. Crap, did I kind of ex-alive him? He didn't even glance back at me as he left the room. Well, it was self-defense. Everything's self-defense. The door shut with a loud, hollow bang. I closed my eyes, hoping to shut out the image of what I just did. It was self-defense. I woke up and looked at the handcuff. I picked up the key from under the radiator and looked at it. I was glad I went looking around the first day. I might have never gone out of the cuffs. I was too tired today. I unlocked the cuff. Now I can look around. This time we are going back to at the weapons locker. I might as well see if I could protect myself. I walk over to the weapons locker. 8590. I punched the numbers and opened up the locker. I breathed deep, a sigh of relief as I grabbed the shotgun off the rack. What was I gonna do with this? I felt sinking in my stomach. Did I really want to kill him? Well, it's self-defense, so yeah. I heard the door opening and I quickly shut the locker, scrolling back to my spot on the floor. I didn't bother locking my head this time. Vincent walked into the room and closed the door behind him. I felt the gun behind me and I gripped it. I'm gonna friend him. I aimed the gun at him. Whoa, wait a second. Drop it. I could feel myself shaking as I lowered the weapon. Vincent grabbed the barrel. You freaking idiot. You really think I would feel this with something you could kill me with? You mean, silver bullets? Vincent yanked the gun from my hand and rammed the stock into my chest. I felt the air leave my lungs as I started to cough and stumble. He aimed the gun at my leg and fired. I felt the the bullet rip through my leg as I let out a loud scream as I fell to the ground. It's a freaking bird shot. For teaching buttholes like you a lesson. Vincent pushed his boot into the wound and I whimpered in pain. He kneeled his heel in and cocked his head to the side. Open your mouth. I'm so sorry. I choked out, but he wasn't listening. Wasn't interested in my apology. Open your frickin' mouth. I compiled and opened my mouth for him. He smirked and shoved the barrel into my mouth. Yeah, I'm dead. I could feel the steel in my throat as he started to rub it in and out. Suck it like your life depends on it. I think it kinda does. He cocked the gun and I shoved me on the ground. 'Cause it does. I started to gag as the hard tip entered my throat. Vincent watched me unwavering as I started to lick the underside of the barrel. A loud choking sound as he pushed his boot into my wound again. The tears started to run down my face as I tried to breathe. It was too much. The taste of gunpowder, his heavy boot in my wound. I threw up into the gun and he laughed loudly. Is that all you got? He growled in a low tone and pushed his finger over the trigger. Pathetic. I could see him pulling the trigger and the bullets entered the back of my throat. I coughed up blood and laid to the side. Too bad I was starting to like you. You died. You gave up your gun. Okay, now we're gonna shoot him. I got up and aimed the gun at him. Whoa, wait a second. Vincent said looking at the gun, then at me. You don't wanna... I come short. I shot straight into his chest and he fell backwards. I smiled and held the gun close. I need to shoot him in the head now. We definitely need to shoot him in the head. And keep shooting the head. And cut off the head. It wouldn't be too hard if he was down. I walked over and aimed the shotgun to his face. But before I could pull the trigger, he grabbed the barrel and yanked it away. He bashed the butt of the gun into my nose and snarled loudly. What the crap did I say? He stood over me and growled as he pulled the pellets out of his chest. He stomped my leg and I heard a crack underneath his boot. Screaming, he started to dig in his chest. He flipped some metal piece away and leaned down and grabbed my hair. Birdshot ain't gonna kill me. I'm not human. Yeah, but if I got the wire and cut off his head, it would. He picked up the shotgun and shot into my leg. I could feel the pellets tearing through my skin and flesh. I'll never scream as Vincent put the tip of his boot into my mouth. Plus, it's for torturing stupid people like you. Target practice. I tried to scream as he brought his foot down on my jaw. He nailed his eyes and stepped down hard. I could feel his boot cracking my jaw, then my throat. You died. You couldn't kill him. Let's look around. I walked back over to the table. Maybe there was something useful on it this time. Dog tags. What can I find? And jerky. Minizer? Vincent. RH negative? I picked up his dog tags and looked at them. Vincent Minizer. Can't pronounce his name. I whispered out loud to myself. Yeah, that's me. What of it? I turned quickly. He didn't look like he was going to attack me. Were you in the army? I asked as I held out the dog tags for him. Yeah, I was once. He looked at the tags and looked at them. Why'd you leave? I got attacked. By a werewolf? That's why I look like I got into a fight with a blender and lost. Do you remember anything before that? Vincent pushed pause, looking at the words. No. He tapped his skull and shrugged. Lost it all in a car accident. All my childhood memories. Was that before the army? Lost my family too, except my dad. He nodded his head towards a spot on the floor, and I walked to that direction. I sat down and he cuffed me back to the radiator. The key. I smiled sheepishly and gave him the key. I know he took it, brat. He tossed my hair and looked at it. You're pretty brave. Brave or stupid, both. It's one of those two. It's one of those two things. Both of them. Stay in the spotlight, alright? Stay in the spot, alright? Okay. He held out a can and shook it. I took it and looked at it. It looked like a food supplement. It's all I really had. That's not dog food. Why do you have dog food? Oh wait, because you're a werewolf? Do you have a dog? You could say that. I'm gonna question why you have dog food instead of, I don't know, rare steak or something. Because that would be disgusting to eat, sir. Sheep, asleep. It'd be better if you do. Vincent got up and left me alone again. I drank the rest of the cold drink and sighed as I went back to bed. I heard the door open and I looked up. Vincent wandered into the bunker. Vincent looked frustrated, and he kneeled down and unlocked me from my cuff. What are you doing? Can a guy unlock you without the 20 questions? Well, I flinched at his loud tone and he stiffened. I can't control my anger when it's this close. He paused, His eye shifted around, looking for the wounds. Vincent bit back what he was going to say, and didn't complete his thought. What's close? Maybe if I asked him, he'd respond. Full moon, 'cause he's a werewolf. He let out a loud, animalistic growl as he sat down next to me with a soft thud. Vincent looked at me and bit back his words again. What's wrong? I tried to sound strong, but my words came out in a stutter anyways. I already stutter. Frickin' heck. The 20 questions. Vincent's aggressive tone didn't hide anything from me. You look like a hurt animal, lashing out at people who are trying to help you. Vincent sealed his lips tight. He knew I was right. Like a werewolf. Like a wolf. All right, smart Alec. Vincent let out a heavy sigh. I wanted to say sorry. His little angry tone turned soft and dark. For this. Vincent motioned for my direction. His eye pausing every cut. Every part of me that was out of place. Any part that was cut or bloody or broken. And in the end, he was one that did this to me. He was the one who put me here. He hurt me. Say nothing. I stayed quiet. I was his prisoner after all. He hurt me. It didn't mean I was going to forgive him right away. Well, that's all. I looked up at him. Why am I down here? There's a reason I brought you here. I looked at my energies. Why? So what about it? When I turned into a werewolf? What was he talking about? You're kidding, right? Vincent looked at me deadpan. I go after one person. The first butthole I see, usually. Vincent gripped his hands and looked at them. But I learned to lock myself down here so I don't go looking around anymore. So you just kidnap someone to go have a field day? That's why you're here. Can't you just let me go? I was wrong about you. He stood up and growled angrily. You just want to get out of here. Well, you're not wrong for some people. And I don't blame you. He's super tongue gone. But I can't let you out of here. And freaking frankly, I suddenly don't give a crap what you think of me. He opened his weapons locker and picked out a wooden bat, swinging it over his shoulder. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna let us live, even though the full moon right now. You wanna let me be let go so badly? Well, darling, I would love to release you from your goddamn earthly bonds. I jumped up from my spot and tried to run. A gunshot rang out of the bunker as I felt my knees give way. I don't feel like frickin' chasing you. I screamed as I held the bullet wound. I felt the bloody grip between my lit fingers, and he kicked me in the stomach and let me turn over. He pushed the bat against my nose. You know how many people's skulls I've carved with this baby? With this baby? Multiple. Probably the double digits. He started to push harder and I whimpered, trying to crawl away. Hey, you're not going anywhere. I could feel the wood smash into my nose with one swift moment breaking the bone. I let out a high-pitched scream as blood filled my senses. Blood dripped down my face as he pushed his boot into my septum. I could feel the air pushing out my lungs as I pulled my hands weakly on the boot. Vincent clenched his teeth and pulled the bat back, smashing my arm. I screamed as the blunt force shattered my bone. The pain radiated off my arm and made me feel sick. I can't believe you. How flustered growl. What was that? Vincent brought up the bat and smashed my teeth into my face. Who gave you frickin' permission to talk? I coughed. It was all bone and blood. The world was spinning around me. But I wasn't dead. You're going to die. I heard him say as my ears rang. I went too easy on you. I frickin' trusted you. What do I get in return? I felt his arms over my eye as he pushed them into the sockets. I could feel my eyes bursting under the pressure of his hands. Screw you. I tried to scream. It was all blood. Just R.I.P. me. I felt something tear through me like a dog. You died. Vincent beat you to death. Forgive him. Maybe I was crazy, but it's okay. I forgive you. He tucked his face in my arms. Oh, you sound dejected. What are you expecting? Crap, I don't know. Maybe you screaming at me? Tell me to screw off. Screw off, Vincent. You're the one who freaking put me here. Vincent tried to to mimic my voice. He did a poor job of it. A stifle laugh. Laugh it up, pup. You're not going to laugh very long. Not after. He stopped himself and bit his bottom lip. Vincent put his head down in his arms, dancing around the point. I reached out and started to stroke his hair. It looks like it would be rough. His soft hair slipped through my fingers like silk. I ran my hands through his hair, petting him lightly. Hopefully he wouldn't be angry. My hands were the cleanest things. Vincent leaned into my touch, letting out a low sound of pleasure. I kept my hand on his head, and I felt something growing under my hand. Your ears! They changed. What? He swagged my hand away and put his hand on the top of my head, feeling for himself. God damn it. I want to touch them. No, screw off. Pet his ears anyway. I reached out and pet his ears and twisted to the side with my fingers touching it, just like Higome Inuyasha. I giggled softly. His warning went off on deaf ears. Warning went on deaf ears, but he didn't seem to mind as much as he led on. I said screw off. His tail was moving side to side. It's cute. It won't be cute when I'm... What's wrong? There's a reason why I brought you here. I looked at my energies. I told you I don't care. So what about it? When I turned into a werewolf. I snored. What was he talking about? You're kidding, right? Vincent looked at me deadpan. He just pointed to his ears and I put up my hands. Point taken. It's like, I still like him. I'll go after one person. The first butthole I see, usually. Vincent gripped his hand and looked at them. But I learned to lock myself down here, so I don't go looking around anymore. That's why you're here. Can you let me go? Vincent paused, thinking and looking down. He looked at his hands with a somber expression and shifted his gaze back to me. His ears receded back, his tail gone. You want to be let go that badly? Vincent got up and leaned over me. I nodded my head and he ran his hand through my hair. He pushed his hands against my throat and squeezed. It'll be over in a few seconds. I heard him say. I started to see stars. I put my hands on his arm. He wasn't killing me. I felt something warm hit my hand. I gripped his arm. Vincent. I love you. I passed out. I felt like an eternity of darkness. I just wanted to talk to Vincent again. I felt like a dream and watching the wolf in front of me. He turned his back on me and started to walk away. I wanted to stop him, but... Don't go. I screamed into the darkness. I woke up in a cold sweat and looked around. I was in less pain. All my wounds were covered. I was in a hospital room. There was nurses and doctors that roamed around me. The police asked what happened to me. I told them I don't remember. I did. I remembered everything. They talked about the person who dropped me off. A tall man with a lot of scars. I told them he was a friend. A friend. I felt my tears well up around my eyes. I wanted to leave. It was a few days before they discharged me from the hospital. I was just on my way out when a nurse handed me an envelope. Her words came like a buzzing in my ears as she spoke. I shook as I opened the envelope. There was nothing inside, and attempt at a good handwriting. Simple words. There was a note inside. An attempt at good handwriting. Simple words. I stared at the note and I clenched it in my hand. Have a good life. Can't you control yourself? He shook his head. No, I wish I could. I'm feral when I'm in werewolf form. Though you might want to keep us alive if you like us, right? One of the perks. Sounds dangerous. You're damn right it is. Vincent sighed and leaned against the wall. No one wants to hear me complain about life. It's crap, and we all know it. He stood up and dusted off his jeans. You're not going to be around much longer at any rate. I'm sorry. He sounded upset. Vincent turned towards the door. I don't want him to leave me alone here. Catch him. I spun up on my spot. Gotcha. I tackled him as hard as I could. He turned around. Despite my best efforts, I tackled him. He didn't budge. I backed up a smiling creeping up my face. Catch me if you can. His eyes widened as I teetered away. I looked stupid. We definitely are doing a little bit more than stupid right now. I couldn't run very well, and I was in some pain. What else could I do to keep him here? I could hear him thumping behind me as he tackled me back, sending us both sailing to the floor. You gotta be nuts. Oh, we're definitely nuts. We got some screws loose. I've just told you I'm a werewolf, and you want to play games with me? Vincent rubbed his fingers against my lips. I opened my mouth, licking the tip of his fingers. They tasted like metal. I bit down playfully on his skin. He let out a low pleasured growl. He pulled out his fingers and left them on my face, rubbing his thumb against my cheek. I don't want you to be alone. I don't want you to leave. If I'm not going to be here longer, then I want you. Vincent leaned down and nuzzled my neck, sniffing my skin. You're insane. We're definitely a bit insane. Vincent kissed my neck. I allowed a soft, pleasured moan as I felt his tongue on my shoulder. He bit down on me. I was bleeding, but it was nothing. I could take his little love bites. I lifted my hips as he ran his left hand down my back. He pressed his lips against mine. His kiss set my body aflame. It was hungry, like he was going to eat me. He might be trying to eat us. Well, we did have a route that ending that did. I molded his lips. I wrapped my arms around the back of his neck, forcing him down. I pushed my tongue into his mouth, vying him for dominance. Vincent didn't back down as he filled my mouth. I rubbed against him. I could feel how hard he was. Vincent! I moan out, finally breaking our kiss for some air. His ears perked up as he looked down at me. Please. I let out a soft pants and shook his head. He has Stockholm syndrome or something. Stockholm syndrome or Stockholm syndrome or something. No. We'll have to put like syndrome because Stockholm is that's actually a real place. Maybe. But screw it. Vincent laughed as he opened his pants. I can feel. I lay on the floor like a wet noodle, panting hard. He leaned into me and kissed my lips. What time is it? Vincent got up and held his head. Oh no, frick. Vincent growled and looked down quickly. Vincent, what's wrong? He put his hands on the weapon locker and pushed in the code. Crap. He growled as he put down the racks of guns. They banged loudly on the floor, and I looked up at him. I stared at him as he grabbed my throat. Shut up. He growled quickly and jammed me into the locker, shutting it behind him. Oh, he's trying to protect us with the locker. I grabbed the grate and looked at him. What are you doing? I'm saving you. He growled with his head down. You're the only one worth saving. I love you. I grabbed the fence between me and him. Back up. He banged on the doors. Back up. I backed up like he told me to. Vincent? He howled into the night, his low cry bouncing against the walls. I closed my eyes and waited for that night to be over. You survived. Vincent saved you. Can't you control yourself? He shook his head. No, I wish I could. I'm feral when I'm in werewolf form. Though you might want to just keep us alive if you like us, right? One of the perks. Sounds dangerous. You're damn right it is. Vincent sighed and leaned against the wall. No one wants to hear me complain about life. It's crap, and we all know it. He stood up and dusted off his jeans. You're not going to be around much longer at any rate. I'm sorry. He sounded upset. Vincent turned towards the door. I don't want him to leave me alone here. Catch him. I spun up on my spot. Gotcha. I tackled him as hard as I could. He turned around. Despite my best efforts, I tackled him. He didn't budge. I backed up, a smiling creeping up my face. Catch me if you can. His eyes widened as I teetered away. I looked stupid. We definitely are doing a little bit more than stupid right now. I couldn't run very well, and I was in some pain. What else could I do to keep him here? I could hear him thumping behind me as he tackled me back, sending us both sailing to the floor. You gotta be nuts. Oh, we're definitely nuts. We got some screws loose. I've just told you I'm a werewolf, and you want to play games with me? Vincent rubbed his fingers against my lips. I put my mouth, licking the tip of his fingers. They tasted like metal. I bit down playfully on his skin. He let out a low pleasured growl. He pulled out his fingers and left them on my face, rubbing his thumb against my cheek. I don't want you to be alone. I don't want you to leave. If I'm not going to be here longer, then I want you. Vincent leaned down and nuzzled my neck, sniffing my skin. You're insane. We're definitely a bit insane. Vincent kissed my neck. I let out a soft, pleasured moan as I felt his tongue on my shoulder. He bit down on me. I was bleeding, but it was nothing. I could take his little love bites. I lifted my hips as he ran his left hand down my back. He pressed his lips against mine. His kiss set my body aflame. It was hungry, like he was going to eat me. He might be trying to eat us. Well, we did have a route that ending that did. I molded his lips. I wrapped my arms around the back of his neck, forcing him down. I pushed my tongue into his mouth, vying him for dominance. Vincent didn't back down as he filled my mouth. I rubbed against him. I could feel how hard he was. Vincent! I moaned out, finally breaking our kiss for some air. His ears perked up as he looked down at me. Please. I let out his soft pants and shook his head. He has Stockholm syndrome or something. Stockholm syndrome or Stockholm syndrome or something. No. We'll have to put like syndrome because Stockholm is that's actually a real place. Maybe. But screw it. Vincent laughed as he opened his pants. I can feel I lay on the floor like a wet noodle, panting hard. He leaned into me and kissed my lips. What time is it? Vincent got up and held his head. Oh no, frick. Vincent growled and looked down quickly. Vincent, what's wrong? He put his hands on the weapon locker and pushed in the code. Crap. He growled as he put down the racks of guns. They banged loudly on the floor, and I looked up at him. I stared at him as he grabbed my throat. Shut up. He growled quickly and jammed me into the locker, shutting it behind him. Oh, he's trying to protect us with the locker. I grabbed the grate and looked at him. What are you doing? I'm saving you. He growled with his head down. You're the only one worth saving. I love you. I grabbed the fence between me and him. Back up. He banged on the doors. Back up. I backed up like he told me to. Vincent? He howled into the night, his low cry bouncing against the walls. I closed my eyes and waited for that night to be over. You survived. Vincent saved you. So, a few changes here and there from some of the endings, such as keeping quiet instead of opening our legs. Defend yourself. I felt good. I took the knife and smiled at it. I think I could do it. I shift my heel to this other man in the room and advanced on him. Leaping from my spot, I charged at him and tackled him to the ground at the floor. He grabbed my arm to force me to stop me from stabbing him, but I had to try. I pushed him in the face, trying to weaken him. It wasn't working. We both struggled for a moment, but I was able to push the knife downwards. He let out a loud growl, struggling to push me off. He tried to nail me in the stomach, but I knelt on his other leg. Just a bit more. I felt his strength give out, and I pushed the knife down. A shot ran in my ears. I felt the knife hit the floor, and my head was bleeding. Well, I think he took it. I think Vincent didn't like us doing that. My eyes widened as I pulled my hand down close. And The grabbing hole in my hand was bleeding everywhere. I wasn't going to step in. He lowered his handgun and kicked me aside. Vincent pulled the other guy to his feet and he lunged at me, but Vincent forced him back. Watch it, little bird. He gripped Vincent's arm, angry, but did what he was told. Watching you almost get the upper hand on him. Turns out I wasn't ready for a new pack mate. Oh, wait, he wanted us a pack mate? I thought he wanted us as food. Vincent looked down at the smaller man for a moment. So you gotta go. Vincent held up the handgun and used to shoot my hand and aimed it to my head. You died. Vincent stepped in. So in this eating, I basically had to make sure that my health went down really bad. So when I pulled, instead of 3 times, I pulled 6 times. Defend yourself. I picked up the knife and tried to focus on it. I felt a bit dizzy. Fine. I charged at the other guy and took a swing in his direction. I could feel his knee colliding with my stomach. He was stronger than he looked. I started to cough and he laughed, pulling my hair roughly. You can't even stand up. He ate me hard into the ground, grinding his heel into my back. He stomped down hard and scoffed. You're so pathetic. He sat down on my back and took the knife out of my hand without resisting. Screw you. He pushed my head into the cement and I could feel my face bouncing off the floor. He sat down on my back and twisted his hand into my hair. Vincent's had enough fun with you. It's my turn. He carved the knife down my back, cutting deep. A scream as he traced the ridges of my spine with the tip of the knife. I struggled as he tapped the bones with the tip of his knife. He pushed the knife into my side, and I let out a loud scream. The pain shot down my leg. I scratched to get away from him. It was blinding. Stop! I could only scream as he twisted the knife. It made me feel sick. Everything was going dark. What crap, Fars? You died. You are too weak. Say nothing. I don't know what to say to him. So I just stare at him vaguely, looking for words. Vincent looked at the side and hissed. You're a boring little crap, aren't you? Vincent kneeled down and grabbed my legs. He sniffed me deep and licked my skin. Ugh! I felt a chill in my spine as he ran his tongue into my stomach, to my chest. I ached my back into his touch. Arched. You like it when I do this to you? I felt every inch of myself trembling as he spoke into my chest. A loud breath, but was cut short. Vincent thrust a large knife into my chest and started to dig. I coughed out blood and stared at him. Ah! I felt him breaking my ribcage. A loud scream, but I kept choking on my blood, filling my lungs. You really did. You really think I was going to keep you? He grinned at me and broke the rib out of my chest. I stared at him, coughing. You died, Vincent. Didn't like you. I was bad this time. Please stop. I felt a soft sob escape my lips as Vincent kneeled down and looked at me in the eye. You want me to stop? He leaned in and sniffed me. I twitched trying to pull away from him, but he kept his face still. He stuck his tongue out and licked my cheek, wiping my tears away. I can't do that for you, but I could do that for you, but I still need you not to move around so much. Vincent quickly slashed the underside of my other foot. I let out a loud scream as I felt the blood dripping out of the new wound. Don't trust you enough to not leave the spot. If I don't see your little footprints around my bunker, we might get along. Maybe. Yeah. We probably won't. You kill us more than you like us. Vincent put the knife back in in the holster. Vincent tore the razor wire off my leg and tossed it aside. Let out a loud screak. Yeah, I had to struggle again. As I felt the razor wire tear away my flesh from my bone, I could feel my blood dripping out of the wounds. My feet felt cold. I could only feel the blood dripping down my feet. Was my heart beating so much that I couldn't? Vincent slapped my face. I could feel myself getting more tired. Hey, what's your problem? This isn't that bad. Vincent sighed as he stood up and straight. Well, you couldn't take this much, Vincent put his foot on my chest, forcing me down to the floor. I'll make it quick. He lifted his boot and smashed it into my chest. I gasped as he stomped on my ribs in. I could hear my bones cracking, but I couldn't scream. I was too tired. Sorry, kiddo. We could have more fun. You died. You were too tired. Okay, I have to do this again. I licked the floor from me gently. I didn't want to be hurt by him anymore. Vincent made a low growl as I did and kneeled down. Come on, baby. I called for him. Okay, we're gonna skip. Vincent opened the door. And Vincent moved away from me and came over to the big door. Vincent opened the door and looked at the little brunette. The little crap got out last night. Watch over them, Fars. I gotta go pick up some crap for tomorrow night. Of course, Vincent. Vincent leaned down and gave him a small sniff and a kiss behind the ear before he walked away. Fars slammed the giant door shut and spun the wheel, sealing both of us inside. He climbed up Vincent's table and kept his eyes on me. Talked to him. Hey! Shut up. No one gave you permission to talk. Those are cute ear cuffs. Oh, you think so? Fars puts his hands on his ears. Vincent gave them to me. He sounded proud and gave me a happy sigh. Relic of his youth or something. He doesn't remember, but he says they look better on me. He stuck out his tongue and showed me a tongue ring. He's real good to you if you treat him right. Not that you know crap about that. Maybe you could teach me. I needed to appeal to him. I didn't know what else to do, and Fars was safe with Vincent. You want to teach me how to be... You want me to teach you how to be a masochist? It's not taught. It's something that you just have. I crawled towards Fars and felt my arm hitch on the radiator. Fars got out of his spot and stood above me, just out of reach. Please, I don't want to be I just want to be useful to you. Fars scoffed and kicked me in the stomach. He hit hard. Like he's not human eater. What use are you to me? I put my hands on his foot and he kicked me anyway. You can help me with anything. Whatever you want, name it. Fars rubbed his chin and grabbed my head. Anything, huh? Vincent needs your blood. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because he needs to drink it because his werewolf thing. You can give it to me. I watched Fars reach into his back pocket and pull out a knife. I flinched and moved back. Don't you want me to teach you? I'm going to teach you. Fuse. Fars took out a knife and flicked it open. He looked at the tip and pushed it into his finger. You know, I could help you understand. He got up from the table and played with the knife. I backed up from the radiator and Fars knelt down. Let's play a little game. No. I don't want to play a game with you. Fars punched me in the face. I could feel myself getting tired and looking up. I couldn't keep focus on the man in front of me. I could feel Fars stepping on my back. You're so weak. Everything went black. You died. You couldn't stand up to him. Now I'm gonna let him teach me. I had to go back and make sure I had more health. Let him teach you. I crawled over to him. Please teach me. Fars grabbed my arm and looked at me and looked at the veins in my arm. Your life doesn't belong to you anymore. It's mine. It's Vincent's, and we can do whatever we want to you. Fars grabbed my arm and sliced it without even thinking twice. The blood dripped out of it, and I screamed, holding my arm in pain. Now smile. I looked up at him with a defeated look. Smile. I smiled at him as best as I could. Good. He punched me in the face, and I reeled back. I put my hands over my nose and tried to stop the bleeding. But I didn't cover my smile. Go to sleep. I'll tell Vincent what you did. I watched the door open and listened to it slam shut. Hey, wake up. I could hear Fars's voice as I opened my eyes. He knelt down and looked at me. What? I have an idea. Fars unlocked me and I rubbed my wrist. Let's go out. It's like, okay. Awesome. I stood up and stumbled at... Whoa, be careful. We both looked at the door as the knob started to spin. Fars looked at me and narrowed his eyes. Take the fall. What? What did he mean? I stumbled on the wall and leaned against it. Vincent opened the door and looked at the two of us. He gritted his teeth. What are you two little craps doing? It's my fault. What the crap? Who makes you think you could just walk around like you own the place? Vincent started to advance on you. Wait. Fars slipped in front of me and put his hands on Vincent's collar. Wait, Vincent. I've been talking to them. I think they'll be good to have around. I mean, I didn't let them out. Vincent let out a low growl and looked at Fars. Fars ran his hands up Vincent's neck and to his face. We could use the help. Not everyone is going to trust a scarred up guy like you. Vincent closed his eyes and listened. So what are we going to be doing? We could hunt for you when you can't. Vincent put his hand over Fars, letting out breath. Fine. Fars smiled and pushed his hand through Vincent's hair. They're under your watch, though. I don't have long. Oh. I got them out of your way. I'll get them out of your way. Yeah. It's like he likes us to. Vincent let out a gruff growl. Get the crap out of here. Now. Fars started to back up slowly. Come on. He grabbed my hand and ran off with me out of the bunker. He slammed the door shut. My feet were still in pain and throbbing, but we didn't stop running until we got back into the house. I could hear the loud howl in the bunker. He's gonna be pissy in the morning. What? Why? You were supposed to be the sacrificial lamb. Kill one, save others, or some crap. Sometimes he doesn't get a victim for the transformation. It makes him super pissy in the morning. Sounds like fun. It is. We just have to calm him down. You like it, I promise. Sit down. He motioned to Vincent's bed. I took a seat and he looked at me and looked at my own wounds. I'll fix this up. Aw, thank you. Thank you. I told him I'll watch you. It'd be nice. And I'm doing that. He quickly covered my wounds and I felt much better already. Let's get some sleep. We're gonna need it. We curl up on Vincent's bed. And for once, I had a good night's sleep. The next morning, my eyes fluttered open as I pulled the warm comfort around me. You look like crap. Well, you look like you have a black eye, too. Thanks. I think I have something that might fit you. Fars moved away and dug around in the closet. He held out a pair of short, neon stockings and a tank top. All in black. Here. What? That's a little revealing, don't you think? You want to make Vincent happy? He got some kinks. Some of them I bet would look better on you. Okay. I slip on the soft neon over my legs and push the shorts around my waist. I put on the tank top and rub my arm. How do I look? You look great. He walked over to me and pushed me back down on Vincent's bed. Vincent's gonna be coming back up soon. We should get ready. Fars leaned over me and put his hands around my neck. He slowly pushed his hands into my neck. You better get used to this. He likes choking people. That's like Vincent. I felt his crotch against mine. I twisted my hips to rub up against him. I nodded my head and put my hands gently on his arms. Fars rubbed my neck, and we grinded our hips together. I'm getting excited. He rolled over and pulled me on top of him. You try it. It's fun. I nodded my head and pushed my hand around his neck. The collar was in the way a bit, but I managed. I pushed down and felt his breath on my hands. The heat beat in his neck. He was excited, but I didn't push any harder than that. You're not as strong as Vincent, but it's still fun, right? Sometimes you gotta get a piece of both worlds before you really appreciate one. You're really smart. No, I'm not smart. I'm just passionate. I leaned into him, and he wrapped his arms around me. What are you two doing? We turned our heads to the voice in the doorway. You survived. You were accepted. Vincent leaned on the counter inside. Ah, crap. He grumbled softly into his chest. He was just meeting his friend for a drink, but he was always exhausted after a full moon. He pushed the ice around his whiskey around. Where is he? He felt someone tap him on the shoulder and Vincent closed his eye. Who are you? Wait, I know you. Vincent grumbled into the glass as he slipped it. That's not really a porn. You've been talking to one of my patients. I just wanted to come see you. Vincent's eyes narrowed and he spun his chair around low at the man in front of him. Yeah, what of it? I just want to see who's making the scratch marks all over your body. Vincent didn't like the way this guy was talking to him. Vincent shut out his seat and advanced on him. Yeah, what of it? Vincent said slowly, his voice dripped in malice. He knew exactly who the man was looking for. Us, right? He backed up into the darkened hallway, leading to the bathroom. Vincent slammed the man into the wall, his hand firmly against his neck. Leave her alone. Vincent growled as he pushed down on his throat. His face reddened with excitement as his hand gripped Vincent's arm. I wasn't interested in your relationship with the doll. I was interested in... A black tongue slid slowly across our man's lips. You. Him? I thought you'd be so nice. Vincent dropped the doctor and leaned back. What? I'll be seeing you again. This isn't over. He put his hand on Vincent's chest and tried to push him against the wall. Vincent snorted and shoved him back with a greater force and moan escaping the doctor's lips. Your name? Vincent demanded. The doctor pulled out a card and pulled it into Vincent's hand. Take care. His hand gripped Vincent's almost desperately. He quickly turned and walked into the main room. Vincent didn't follow. He whipped out the card and flipped it over. Sano Kojima. Kojima, huh? Wait. Vincent grumbled to himself and he looked over to Lawrence. We have not done your route yet. How long have you been here? I didn't want to bother you. It's fine. Better not get tangled up in this messes. Vincent pushed Lawrence playfully and nodded towards the bar. Come on, Lawrence. Let's grab a drink. Don't smile. I spat in his face. You crap. Fars charged at me and pulled out his knife. I'll teach you manners. He grabbed my face and punched his knife into my eye. I screamed in his face. I cursed him. But no matter how much I fought and screamed, he was stronger than me. The pain shot through my face as it carved the skin around my eye. He reached in and shoved his fingers into the open wound. Fars didn't say anything as he pulled out my eye from my face. I could feel my body shake and convulse in pain. I grabbed his arm and tried to pull him off. It's too bad you couldn't last. It appeared we survived with one eye. Like taken out. Vincent might actually like you. You died. Fars pulled out your eye. Now for this we have to refuse. No! I screamed out loudly at him. He shrugged a shoulder. Well, okay. He picked me up and kicked me into the wall. Open your mouth. He unzipped his pants and stood above me. I looked up at him as his fly, then back at him. Refuse. I keep my mouth shut. I wasn't going to just roll over and do whatever he wants. Look at your tight lips. Vincent took a step back and picked up his knife. He looked at the edge and I backed up. I put my knees and scrambled around. I couldn't get my footing. Vincent yanked my head up and pushed a knife into the side of my mouth. Smile, kiddo. He yanked the knife through my cheek and the blood quickly filled my mouth. I sputtered and coughed, the pain blinding me as I felt the knife on the other side of my cheek, tearing through the muscle and flesh. I tried to scream, but the blood was filling my mouth fast. I couldn't keep my mouth closed anymore, so I looked up at him. Crap. Overdid the Gazwo smile, huh? But looky here. We're kinda gone. Your mouth is wide open now. He opened his jeans and... Yeah, no. I felt my head floating as I slid to the floor. Giving up on me? That's too bad. You died. You opened your mouth. Now let's attack Vincent. I got up and gripped the knife. I had to try. I charged at him and he dodged my blade. Whoa, crap. He licked his lips and moved quickly behind me. I wasn't fast enough. I was already hurt. He grabbed my arm and twisted it behind my back, pushing down hard. You know, I was starting to like you a bit. But if you're going to make life hard, Fars was right. You're not worth keeping around. He grabbed the back of my head and pushed me down into the ground. Sorry, pup. He grabbed my hair and started to smash my head into the concrete floor. I think we're gonna die again. The pain radiated through my face as he repeatedly bashed my face into the ground. I could feel all my front teeth breaking inwards. Blood filled my senses as he dropped me on the ground. Pity. You died. You weren't worth keeping. Now this time we're gonna say it's Flowers' fault. Yeah, right. They're the one who won the stretch there. Vincent put a hand up immediately, silencing Flowers. He put his finger on his lips. Shh. Don't play the blame game. Vincent leaned his head on the side, cracking his neck, and bolted forward. He grabbed my neck and squeezed. I don't care whose fault it is. He squeezed harder, cutting off my ear. I stretched his arm, scratches his arm, and tried to pull away. But if you want to blame Flowers for it, Vincent's grip got tighter as he started gripping my throat. I choked breaths and pulled my hands up on his arm. I couldn't get out of his vice grip. Darling, I ain't gonna stand for that. I felt my neck snap under his hand. He died. Vincent snapped her neck. This time we are gonna attack him again, but we're gonna pay attention. Attack. I got up and grabbed the knife. I had to try. I got up and charged at him from the right side. And now we're gonna click this. I closed my eyes. What could I do? I need someone. Cain, help me. I clutched my hand tightly around a feather I was sure I didn't have before. What did you say? I heard Vincent's voice call out roughly to me. I opened my eyes and looked up. Large black wings. Cain! Always getting yourself into trouble, Cain turned towards me, his glowing eyes locking onto mine. He snapped his fingers and pointed at Flowers in the room. Take care of that, will you? Screw you. Cain. The person called as I tackled him to the ground. Get off of me, butthole. He screamed as he punched me in the face. I grabbed a knife from the other hand and punched it into his chest. I let out a cry as I felt someone grab my hair and toss me at Cain. I could feel Cain's hands on my torso catch me in midair. It was quiet. I could hear the other person coughing and Vincent's low voice. He said something to them. It was too soft. I couldn't hear it myself. He held Flowers close and I knew he was dead. It was self-defense. I killed Flowers. It was too quiet. Get up, beast. It's your turn. Cain said, his tone bored and flat. Vincent got up and let out a loud cry. Vincent's pain howl vibrated off the walls. Cain seemed uninterested in the display as Vincent turned on his heel. He charged straight at me. I'm going to rip your goddamn head off. Cain pushed me aside and pulled out a long silver sword. He got werewolf hunting equipment right here. This will suffice for you, Cain said as he pushed it into Vincent's chest. Vincent gashed at his teeth at Cain. Cain pushed the sword in further and caused Vincent to cough blood. He looked up at Cain. Haven't you learned? Kane's words were cut short by Vincent spitting on his own blood onto Kane's open mouth. Kane let the sword go. Vincent's weak laughter filled the room as he stumbled backwards, kneeling down near Fars's body again. Say hi to my dad for me. It's like, you don't hurt my human. Vincent lay down neck to their body. Vincent laid down neck to their body. Kane touched the blood around his mouth and looked at it, narrowing his eyes. You can't stay out of trouble, can you? Kane put his hand on my shoulder. It felt like a torment of darkness, and I appeared back in my own apartment. Oh, thank you. I'm giving him a hug. He's my favorite so far. I love everyone. No need for thanks. Kane backed up. I looked around nervously. Something didn't feel right. The walls were shifting inwards. I put my hands on one of the walls. You owe me now. Your soul will do. It kicked my knees out from under me. I scrambled desperately to get up, but I could feel the ceiling above my head. Everything was closing in. I kneeled down, putting my forehead on the floor. I know your place. Kane's words rumbled in my small box. I couldn't move. You survived. Kane saved you. And that was Vincent's route for Boyfriend of Death 2. There is one ending for him left, but that's in Lawrence's route. So I'm going to end it here for today. If you like my content, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Comment down below and liking the video, and I'll see you guys next time.